Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome back to another episode. As always, I'm your host, TEDTOKEZ, and we got some more World of Tanks here. Console edition still on the Xbox. No longer 360. How about that? You know, all this. Can you believe it? It's been a decade of this game, and these people honestly play it like they've never even got to try at the game before. Uh, skill-based scaling, it'll scare the fucking mightiest of them probably, but not people like me, right? All right, we see one teammate up here trying to be Rambo or something, kind of a poor approach right there. Good way to good getting to the other side to throw the smoke to eliminate them from being able to support this tank. While it's probably getting overwatched, I can get some deflection there, make the rotation, get another shot off, or get a shot off on it, and boom, make some more rotation on this mound, on this hill here. Ultimately try and stop them heavies from rotating the corner of the map, and that's why I want to pull up here. A more effective shot could have been penned there, but I happened to land my shot, but it was deflected. Now we're digging into him. Enemy throws a smoke to try and not get seen by the Overwatch, but is not much of a help. I missed my shot on that Leopard. Here it looks like I'm going to take the advantage of the enemy smoke to reposition myself. Going backing up into that smoke should have eliminated my emblem showing up, which allowed me to reposition with less risk. And there you go. Make a nice little flank. Get a deflection off of that leopard. Boom. Team's cramming them. I'm slamming them. Boom. That one's gone. We're still 3/4 health, and we've eliminated about 3 tanks with the team's help. We got 35-36 damage, 32-80 deflection. I don't know about you, but that 5,122 assist points says I helped the team. What did you do besides get help? But thanks for the help if you think it was that. I'm not going to act like it wasn't that time. See another weasel toe trying to traverse me like this ain't my like this is my first weasel toe battle or something. Buddy, you got to learn how. Oh. Alright, I feel like I should have just started hip firing that or wait until that shot right there, but I do have the reload in time, even though I could have hit it at the very beginning and maybe got the reload off, but that tank might have went over that hill in time to not get that second shot anyways. It doesn't matter, we get over the hill and put that second shot into this Thumper. Thumper's turret can't rotate as fast as our tank currently. Looks like it might even be damaged. So we're just going to land a couple side shots into that thing, take out that Thumper if we can. Continue to evade that weasel toe so that it doesn't get that cheap shot of free points that it wants. At this point, we're not going to focus on the weasel toe because the weasel toe will probably find us. We want to get this light tank off of our teammate. Probably should have hip fired that one. Probably should have manually aimed it. That enemy tank was going way too fast for that auto locked shot to even land. So probably should have let go of the auto lock and just led the crosshair a little bit. Would have been an easy shot. Really big side of the tank to hit. There we go. Look at that. Team's cleaning up this last kill. And that's how you do that. End the game with 66-55 damage, 32-80 deflection. We didn't die this time, so that's something. Hey, we got first place on that one. You think it was because we didn't die? Nah, couldn't be. Couldn't be. We've been the first one dead with first place many a times. Alright, next match. Looks like we're in the Armadillo. Looks like our team never really left the spawn. We have some tanks of a squad pushing that 7-8 line through them little mountain passes. I'd have to say I'm doing a pretty good job scouting here. Uh, we're ultimately seeing if any of the enemies went far east. They're probably right on this hill right here doing absolutely nothing until somebody does something for them, whether it's the enemies or teammates, because they can't do anything for themselves. That's why they position that way, most likely. We see a light tank sitting up on that hill, but we got to reload. So we're going to reposition this time, because sitting there on that hill was just going to let us be spotted by the two tanks in the K line. And then we're just going to get shot by all the Overwatch that's up on the hill there. Alright, looks like we're approaching the next section of encounters. We got some enemies on the forefront here for the enemy team. We're going to try and make this rotation as we push into the enemy territory so that hopefully by the time that team of 8 to 10 inside the center of the map, they start to push this way, they will have the back end of all of these tanks, as well as they will have two different halves to even approach and or accomplish the conquering of. As you can see, there would have been a very easy heavy and medium dog pow right there. And then they could have pushed through that medium line, whether they wanted to push south and then go north, or push north and then go south, to try to get rid of the bigger group first or the little group first. But they're going to sit there and play the back and forth. So ultimately, everything I just did in that armadillo was a waste of my time. It was a waste of the team's time, just as much as they're wasting everybody's time doing what they're doing, right? That's why they didn't get any points. Just they got nothing but, like I said, the by default free points that either your teammate or your enemy gave you. Second place, there you go. Not too bad, not too bad for doing not much in a match. Looks like we have another armadillo match for our third go. We might have two more. I don't see this match lasting 7 minutes, so we might have two more matches, maybe even three, knowing me. I don't have a super long survive time, mostly due to the fact that I'm not going to sit back and wait for something to get done that I could already be getting done. Even if I'm going to fail at it, I'm going to at least attempt to try. Why? Well, because I'm not a loser. I just lose sometimes. You know, and the thing about losing, is you can be a loser who lost in a losing match and have a better game than a winner who won in a winning match. You know why? Effort, participation, impact. These things that actually matter to the outcome of the game. As you can see right here, we currently have a whole lot of heavy tanks chilling in one square. It looks like H1G1. Some of them starting to push up, ultimately only because they realized there was a free medium and light tank kill. They have enough armor and speed to ram them tanks as they approach, and then the rest of it is just going to go down in history. If they ram the medium first, the light tank doesn't have much of a chance. If they ram the light tank first, the medium still doesn't have much of a chance in that situation. I could have done that on my own with one heavy, right? Okay, now let's move on from that. We have 4 tanks still sitting in H1G1. We have 4 tanks pushing up to C1 to take one more medium out. That's 3 tanks we've got over the course of 2 minutes. Something one tank could do on its own. Now, you tell me that this is a matter of teamwork being implemented to where the outcome is becoming easier and achieved faster because you don't have to do it on your own. I know. It looks like they're helping each other, doesn't it? Really, they're fighting each other for points, believe me. In fact, I know they're fighting each other for points because I've played this game for 10 years. I know why they sit back there in Overwatch. I know why they're no longer at 50% of the map in the first 30 seconds of the match at any given game in any given game at 50%. That 10 year they used to be actually playing this game. You had 10 people on the front line in the battle. Yeah, half of them were still playing Overwatch from front lines because they were not good enough to be the meat shield or the scapegoat that others would use or make them out to be, or themselves would turn themselves into. Well, and then you have that free loss, we could have definitely won that one. I'd have to say there was no reason. Oh, wait. Oh no, we did lose. I was going to say, there should have been no reason our team didn't rotate the map, take the enemy objective there, and we still had tanks to defend our base. There's always going to be one or more tanks that never leave the spawn or go sit in some Overwatch position that does absolutely nothing besides watch over the spawn, basically, right? Alright, here we are again, next match. Looks like we didn't have another Armadillo match. We have a Leopard 2A5. Now, if you look at this match, you can visibly see the lack of participation from one team over the other team. Which team do you think is going to win this match? Now, this has nothing to do with me saying who's participating and who's not. I'm saying maybe they're both participating. Huh? How about this, though? Think of this part of that little coin you want to flip. Ready? If the enemies are participating poorly and you're losing, then you're the one who didn't participate at all. Because how could somebody participate poorly? Look at this team. Look at this enemy team. We have 4 tanks down here. 2 light tanks and a medium out of the 4 could have easily captured that enemy base already. But we're still just sitting there messing around. You know what I mean? You had 10 enemy tanks pushing one part of the map, and then our team wants to do nothing. Like there's nothing that we can do elsewhere while we're wasting their time there. Alright, looks like I had a light tank push up to this approach with me here. Now, I'm gonna... Oh, there we go. Get a nice shot on the back end of one of them there. That'll help with that push up there. Now, you could see I ultimately did absolutely nothing this game. I drove around for 2.5 minutes trying to find somebody to fight, right? Here we go. We might be able to help out this little guy here. Maybe end up exposing ourselves poorly trying to help him, but maybe not. Oh, that one was close. I knew, I don't know, that one would have been either close or a little bit not far enough, I think. Might have been true, but that one might have been RNG'd. That was a pretty good lead, honestly. With his speed, I would have even said it was maybe too far ahead. There we go. We get a rotation on that hill. The only enemies left are the ones behind this hill because they sat back there all game. And here you go. Couple more shots into him, and this one's cleaned up. See how easy that was? Now, I didn't end this match, but with about 2,500 damage, right? That's only half a kill's worth. That's only half of an enemy's health, but I got 2 kills. Now, watch where it puts me on this leaderboard. Now, watch this. You saw I did absolutely nothing that game, but ultimately what other tanks did for me. Okay? I still managed to get 7 penetrations, 3 criticals, 2 kills. I'm such a good player, aren't I? Hold on a second. Let's chase down this last destroyer, and then we'll take a look at the rewards board real quick. Not much better than a guy who's actually pretty trash. Mostly because when you realize a lot of their points were them getting points from another player taking the risk for them, right? My points were still more my points because I was off on my own doing things. I wasn't doing my own thing behind players doing their thing or something for me in front of me, you know?